came back home. We were being bombed where we were, so we might as well be bombed. It's a family occasion, isn't it? my grandmother lived 4 houses along the road, and it was a typical little road in Ponders End. Another thing about it, everybody paid their bills, and people that borrowed money and didn't pay it back, well, you turned your back on them. Nowadays, that's not the case. It's completely different. And when you say anything about it, you say, you mustn't stigmatise people. But we did stigmatise people, and it worked. Because policing doesn't, as we've said, start when somebody commits a serious crime. It doesn't start with the policeman coming around. It starts in the home and with your neighbours. And we all knew the family that didn't pay their bills, and we didn't have anything to do with them. They're not that sort. We're not that sort of people. And that has gone now. And this government has presided over a system of making it dead easy for people to run up credit like crazy and then walk away from it.
There's this new thing that's just come out, where you get absolved of so much. I forget what the percentage was. It was quite a high percentage.
Well, you do a deal. You do a deal. And you walk away, and that's it, and you go and get another 6 credit cards, and you pay the bill on your credit card charges for these guys who are borrowing money that they're not going to pay. It is completely crazy, and you get the problem of drunkenness. What's the government's answer to the problem of drunkenness? Leave the pubs all night.
Because everyone will get drunk at the same time.
We know there's a lot of kids who are becoming problem gamblers. What do? Oh, you have casinos.
And even gambling online.
The other week. Why is it we can all see this sitting here, yet our leaders, our politicians, are letting them all run riot around us. Us lot here, we can see it, and we could stop it, but we can't stop it, because our leaders can't see it. But they can see it, so why don't they do anything about it?
Well, because they haven't decided in their minds yet. I'll tell you something interesting that's happened. Last general election, last year, Tony Blair's mob got 9.5 million votes total. It's 4 million less than they got in the first election. They lost a third of their supporters. I might say Maggie's third election, she had slightly more. The Tories got 8.8 million. The last time that anybody won a general election with less than 10 million votes was over 80 years ago, in the 20s, when the electorate was 20 odd million instead of 40 odd million. So what's happening now is that there's a great mass of people, probably 4 million Labour inclined voters, probably 5 million Tory inclined voters, who are not going out on polling day. And it's not that they're not interested, and it's not that they're stupid, it's not that they don't care. What they are saying to the major parties is, you won't talk to us about what we want to talk to you, and it doesn't matter which way we vote. So they stay at home. But so far, this hasn't affected the big parties. They don't get it right, they still get elected. So the danger that's now coming, and it's a danger that's been seen by 1 or 2 people, to give him credit, John Cruddas, the Labour MP, was saying, look chaps, we're not talking to our people, and if we don't talk to them, they're going to have to vote for the BNP. Now that might at last begin to concentrate people's minds.
Rather than talking to us, why don't they listen?
Subtle use of words.
They never listen to what we say.
They do talk to you. They don't listen to what you say.
They tell you what you're going to have.
As this is happening, the fewer and fewer people are voting, some of the more intelligent ones are beginning to get worried. And they are beginning, I think. And it's not just on my side of the house. You know, it's on the other side as well. Girls like Mrs. Dan Woody, she listens as well. Kate listens as well. And they are beginning to, because people are simply not voting.
It's a slow process though, isn't it?
What do you think of the sacrifices that people in this country have put up with since the beginning of the 20th century? The fact that working people are only enfranchised in very recent history. You think they really want to take hold of this and say, right, we have rights, we can actually change the way things are.
I have to think you're all missing the point. All the time, this is going back to the EU. Our present government is not allowed to talk to you because it's all been set up unelected commissioners. Unelected commissioners. Very right. All taken like one of the styling.
What I found in my life is if you hold people responsible for it, they usually behave responsibly. If you don't hold them responsible, they will behave irresponsibly. Our members of parliament are now not responsible for most of our laws, so they behave irresponsibly. They pay themselves more and more money, they pay themselves more and more allowances. They've got that vast bridge on Westminster, that vast building on Westminster Bridge there. What is it? Palace House. And I stand and look at that sometimes and I say, how did we manage to run an empire, the biggest the world's ever seen, without that bloody building? And it was because members of parliament were doing their jobs there. And they don't.
Let me ask you, Norman, if you don't mind me calling you Norman. The Tory party could win the next election, hands down, if they said we are going to withdraw from the EU. So why don't they make that statement and do it? If David Cameron wants to be Prime Minister, why does he not come out and make this statement? Too much money.
I'm not absolutely sure that just flat out like that would do it. No. You have to make the case. You have to make a case. People can be very easily frightened. Oh, you're going to lose your jobs if we left the Europe. They wouldn't buy any of our...
But they didn't ask us in the first place, did they? They didn't ask any of us in the first place. No, it wasn't a referendum. It wasn't a referendum for a government unelected from Brussels, was it? We the people, we want to withdraw from the EU, govern our country, govern our borders, pay our taxes to our own people, you know, for our children and grandchildren's sake, and we're not allowed to do so.